This is wheel number one. The story in this one is that it's got some cracks on the inner lip. Someone has been here before and identified the spots. So we'll go with number one. Look at that. This is how far this one goes. Around there. Look at that from the other side. Okay, that's how far that goes. Number two and number three. Stops right there. Number three's right there. And on the other side, you can barely see them extending beyond the lip. Number four. It's the same thing. Barely visible. Can feel it though. Can feel it with a nail. So that's all I see with number one. Like you had mentioned, sometimes it might look like it's just a crack, but there is deformation as well. So it just depends on what else or how the wheel actually balances out. I will send those pictures and you'll look at them and you can tell a lot more, a lot better than I'm doing, obviously. These are all, most of these are forged wheels, and I've got 5 that I'll be showing in this video. So 4 of them are forged wheels. They're marketed by Nissan as forged. The other one is cast. When I get to the cast one, I'll point it out. The story with wheel number 2 is that it has some prior work done to it. There are weld repairs on 3 spots, 1, 2, and 3. Let's look at these. Small welds, I'd say, maybe an inch and a half in. I'm trying to capture the roundness, but I will send the pictures that will probably do a better job that I'm trying to do with the video. And then let me go ahead and get a light so that we can see what this looks like over here. It did not extend too far, it seems. Okay, now look at this one here. This one is really long, 2.5 to 3 inches. And this one went all the way here. I'm putting the light on the other side because I was just trying to see if there was any holes, anything visible. You can see the shape has a little bit of a difference to it. The previous owner of the wheels told me that the tires that were mounted here held pressure just fine, but I'd like to verify that. Number 2 is that balance issue. Speaking to you guys, I feel like you're not just welders, you know, you actually make sure wheels look good. You're not just welding stuff to join stuff together. So that is the story of wheel number 2. Everything else though seems okay to me. The outer surface never really seems to get affected that much. Wheel number 3. Well, this one almost never made it into the video. A bonus, if you will. The reason this one is here is the inner lip made contact with the road surface. Let me get the light. You can see the black over here. This is because the tire was so worn to the belts that it ripped. And so I'm guessing just riding on the road like that, threw rubber on here, and it might have something to do with me cutting that steel band off as well. But as you can see here, there is severe curb rash on every single part of the circumference of the inner lip. It looks round to me. I don't know, what's around to the naked eye. The other side looks good, but it was used in the wrong application and it was cambered. So they had the wheel leaning in and no chance, really. It made contact. Now, my hope could be that if every single part of this touched the ground, the road surface, then it stayed round. But, what are the chances? And I don't know to what extent it touched the ground. My thinking on this is that when I'll be going to repair it, I will do our best to just kind of run over it, smooth it over a little bit, sandblast it. But as it is right now, I cannot really tell much more beyond it looks round. Looks round from the face, or looking at it straight on. So that's the story of wheel number 3. The story of number 4 involves a 2x4. What happened is, as reported to me, these 2 wheels ran over a piece of 2x4 laying on the road. As you can see, here's the imprint. This is a front wheel. Seems like it got it good. And here's the shape, and this is what it looks like against a 2x4. Thankfully, it's only sadly, it is the front lip. Thankfully, it's only the front lip. The other one does not seem to have been affected by this. So this is what you have over here. Definitely a change of shape. If this is any consolation, this is a forged wheel, so do the makers say, made by Ray's Engineering. So good name with regards to making wheels for Japanese vehicles. And you can see where the lip spreads out. All right. Oh, wow. So dramatic looking at it over there. I cannot really tell if the spokes move. And like you told me, once the spokes are deformed, that's a game over. Okay, so this is what we have. Looking at the inner lip, it looks untouched to me. But I'm sure your instruments will be able to pick it out better than I can. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 5 will be a similar story, but I'll save that for its time slot. Number 5, much like number 4, involves a 2x4 right here. Does not seem to have gotten hit as badly as the first one did, but maybe it got it at the corner or something, because it seems did not really poke a hole, but more acute damage. The other one just bent. So there you go. On the surface, yeah, you can definitely tell that there is a deformation over here. I can feel it. But looking at the roundness in the barrel, I can't tell any difference. All right, you can see that. A little bit of a lift. So this is yet another forged wheel. This is the rear wheel. Did not really get hit that badly. It might seem, but I've learned that when it comes to materials, sometimes you might find that this one looks a little less worse, less bad, yet is the one that can't even be repaired. So this would be interesting to see. I don't know what this is. Okay. Wheel number 6 is interesting. This is a cast wheel. Well, at least if it is forged, they're not telling us. They don't have it printed anywhere, but it is significantly heavier than the other wheels that I've shown in earlier parts of this video. This is in almost brand new condition. This color finish is factory gray, no signs of being refurbished at all. This is the wheel that I took off my vehicle because I said that it felt funny. And when I took it to Sam's Club, they looked at it and said, yes, you have something going on with that wheel. And when I looked at the spokes later, I realized that someone had gone through the trouble of riding bent back here. I cannot see anything wrong with it, but going back to the question you asked me, that's pretty interesting. I never really thought of it that way, but you asked me, can you see the bend? And the answer is that no, on this one I cannot. And thinking about it counterintuitively is that maybe if you cannot see it, that means it's worse. We can't even work on it. So I don't know if there's something going on with the spokes, with the mounting hub face. I really don't know, but they say it's got a bend. It's got place somewhere. So let me roll this. It's not centered in the stool, but yeah, nothing that I can see. So you'll be looking at this picture and just the pictures of this wheel and saying, what's wrong with that? And unless you see that. So I don't know if this one can be fixed. Something else to share is that this design right here, for whatever reason, it seems like a decent number of them usually end up having issues, bent wheels. In that we can't really see, they don't crack, so that's good. But it's so heavy. This wheel is what, 34 pounds, give or take? So they don't crack, yeah, but people usually get rid of them over time because you take it to a shop and they tell you we can't balance anything because your wheel is bent. So that is the story of number 6. It's rather disappointing because it looks really good, but I could definitely feel it in the steering wheel and in the front of the vehicle, just kind of bouncing around in a rather uncomfortable manner. So that's it. That brings us to the end of the wheels that, well, maybe. That one right there, I was told had a slight hop to it. They said if this was a big hop, that was a little hop. But again, same situation. I cannot see anything physically. And I think they were able to balance that out. And you might have noticed that the weight situation, it wasn't even that much, at least by what the machines were telling them to do. I think I only saw 2 weights here. That's it, just 2. Yeah, 2 weights over there, nothing else. The other one did not really need that many either, but definitely something I could feel. This might be the one that, like you suggested, put it on a machine and try to see if it's going, look at it from the top, you said, look at it from the barrel side, see if it goes side to side. So I might try to take this to a shop and have them spin it for me while I'm looking at it to see if it does the walking. But for now, it is in the video. If anything changes, if I learn anything between the time I send you the pictures and when I come there, then we'll share that as an update. And as I said, whatever learnings I get from this wheel, I'll apply to that second wheel over there.